Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. So, I've got some updates here for you regarding this attack that happened earlier in northern Israel in the town of Majdal Shams. We had a deadly rocket attack in this town at a soccer field. There was a rocket that landed on the field while children were playing. There were many teenagers here between the ages of 10 and 20, many children playing, and this rocket struck and killed a bunch of kids. Very horrible attack. We had 34 others that were wounded as well in this attack. So, very, very massive attack on the Israelis. And it looks like we've got confirmation from the IDF. The IDF is stating that this was Hezbollah that did this. Hezbollah originally came out and denied that they had any involvement. But I have this report here on X that says from the IDF directly, the Israeli Defense Forces, the Hezbollah terrorist organization is behind the rocket launch at a soccer field in Majdal Shams, which caused multiple civilian casualties, including children, earlier this evening. According to an IDF situational assessment and the intelligence in our possession, the rocket launch toward Majdal Shams was carried out by the Hezbollah terrorist organization. So they are directly stating, okay, that this was Hezbollah. We are going to see a massive response from the Israelis coming here very soon. And what we're going to be talking about is what you see on the screen here. This is Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with Donald Trump. He just met with him, I think, in the last day or so. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has been in the U.S. over the last few days. He did a whole speech to Congress as well, and he met with multiple people. He met with Elon Musk as well. So we're going to be seeing a massive response here very soon because Benjamin Netanyahu is headed back early. He was supposed to head out in a flight, I think, tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern time, but he's actually going to be leaving at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So he's going to be leaving early since he found out about this attack. And that's also the picture that I had for you guys on the thumbnail before you got in here. That was him meeting with one of his security advisors and being given a report on the assessment of this attack. So he is definitely coming back early, and I've got some reports to go over here with you because we're going to be seeing a major response here, okay? Israel is absolutely done with holding restraint. Okay, what did we see them do with the Houthis right when they got attacked by one drone? They completely bombed the port of Hodeidah and destroyed it. Massive attack. The Israelis are going to hit Lebanon even harder, okay? I believe that they are going to strike them extremely hard. And it's going to be 10 times worse than what we just saw in the attack by Majdal Shams in northern Israel today. But we're going to have to see what they plan to do because they're definitely going to respond. But I wanted to show you this real quick. I talked a little bit about this earlier in my last video when we talked about Majdal Shams. This is something that Trump said on July 26th, so just in the last day or so. Trump says, if Iran assassinates me, U.S. must wipe it off the face of the earth. Okay, so he's been talking a lot about lately that there's a plan for Iran to take him out, and obviously Donald Trump is a big fan of wanting to push for eliminating Iran. Okay, and I think that if he gets in office, this may be a major goal for the U.S. to do this. He's come out so many times lately talking about this as saying that Iran is trying to assassinate him. I've heard multiple reports, many people discussing the topic of that he may have another attempt on his life because we know that just not too long ago there was a shooter that tried to assassinate him. So this may happen again, and if he's saying if he is assassinated that he hopes that the U.S. wipes off Iran from the face of the earth. So just wanted to show you that because that was actually something he did say. And I want to go over a couple other things here. I've got some more reports from the Times of Israel and also some reports on X. We're going to kind of go back and forth and discuss each of these. But first, let's talk about Netanyahu's returning flight. So he's coming back today, actually. He's coming back to Israel, and there's lots of members of the Israeli government that are blasting him and saying, you need to come back right now because we had this massive attack and we got to do something about this now. So let me show you this. Netanyahu's return flight moved up several hours after deadly Hezbollah rocket attack. This came out today. Immediately after he was informed of the deadly rocket strike on Majdal Shams, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave instructions for his flight back to Israel from Washington to depart as early as possible. According to his office, a member of Netanyahu's entourage tells reporters the flight will depart from Washington at 6 p.m. local time, 1 a.m. in Israel, after being initially scheduled for 11. So he's leaving, about 5 hours early. This was him when he was being briefed on the attack in Washington, D.C., whenever he first heard about this attack happening in Majd al-Shams. So I've got a couple of things that I want to go over here with you as well. We've got this report also. This is from Isaac Herzog on X. Okay, he is the president of Israel, and he put a response here due to the attack. He says the terrible and shocking disaster in the Druze village of Majd al-Shams in the north of Israel is truly heartbreaking. There are no words that can comfort the families of the young victims who lost their lives through no fault of their own. Hezbollah, armed and funded by Iran, does not distinguish between child or adult, soldier or civilian, Jew or Muslim, Druze or Christian. Hezbollah terrorists brutally attacked and murdered children today whose only crime was going out to play soccer. They did not return. The world cannot continue to sit in silence in the face of Nasrallah's terror attacks, which come at the behest of the empire of evil in Iran. The state of Israel will firmly defend its citizens and its sovereignty. My prayers are with the victims and for the recovery of the wounded. I send my deepest sympathies to those who have lost their loved ones. May they find only strength and comfort. So if you notice here again, another warning going out to Iran, okay, saying which comes at the behest of the empire of evil in Iran, okay? So again, even though they're directing the attention towards Hezbollah and saying, Hezbollah in Lebanon is responsible for this. Well, ultimately, these weapons come from Iran, okay? So Iran gives it to the Hezbollah group, and then Hezbollah fires these rockets into Israel. So this is essentially Iran doing this. In a way, they're using these proxy groups to attack Israel. So Israel's looking at this and saying, well, this might be Hezbollah doing this, but ultimately, the head of the snake is Iran. And this is why I keep talking about this, that at some point, there's going to be a major war in the Middle East, and it's going to be not only with these Iran-backed paramilitary groups, but it's also going to be Iran directly, okay? And Iran is going to get directly involved in this, and we know that they're working on nuclear weapons right now, and they could be having them at any moment. They could already have them right now. Who knows? There's been lots of reports coming out numerously for months now, stating that they could have nuclear weapons, or they're 1 week away, 2 weeks away. We've been hearing this so many times, and I've reported it on this channel several times as well. But let me show you this also on the Times of Israel. Unnamed officials vow severe response to deadly Hezbollah rocket attack, okay? And it says here, Israeli officials signal the military response to the Hezbollah rocket attack that killed 10 people in the Golan. In the Golan's Majd al-Shams, mostly kids, will likely be a very aggressive one. Channel 12 cites a senior Israeli official in the Prime Minister's delegation to Washington saying the events in the north will bring about a dramatic turn in fighting in the area. Take a look at that. That is massive, okay? The events will bring about a dramatic turn in fighting in the area, okay? So it is not just going to be tit-for-tat attacks no more, okay? This is going to be most likely be war, okay? Direct war between Israel and Hezbollah. And we know right now that Israel is not messing around anymore, okay? They already heavily responded to the Houthis within 24 hours after being attacked in Tel Aviv by a drone. So this is going to get out of control very quickly, and I wouldn't be surprised we see a massive attack from the Israelis starting this weekend. So Khan News cites an unnamed senior official as saying the disaster at Majd al-Shams could signal a change of direction in the war. A security source tells Khan this is an incident that we will not gloss over. There will be a severe response. Look at that, guys. Absolutely huge. They are not going to just brush this one off. This one has to garner a response, and that's exactly what we will see from Israel. And it says, Walla News also reports the IDF is preparing for harsh retaliation. Okay, and what is this retaliation going to be? That's the big question. Is it just going to be a massive strike on Hezbollah, or is this going to be Israel finally launching their operation and attacking the north, attacking southern Lebanon, excuse me? We're going to have to wait and see. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I think regardless, what is going to happen is there's going to be a massive response. Just as they stated, a severe response is what we are going to see. Let me show you this as well on X. ViceGrad24 breaking. Member of Netanyahu's delegation to the U.S. about the Hezbollah rocket attack. It will lead to a dramatic turn in fighting against Hezbollah, okay? So this is Netanyahu's delegation to the U.S. even coming out stating this. That it's going to lead to a dramatic turn in the fighting, okay? So we're going to see something completely different than what we've been seeing before. I mean, we already know that Israel has ramped up their operations to go after Hezbollah and go after Iranian-backed groups, even in Syria. We've been seeing airstrikes in Syria recently in the last couple months too. So we know that Israel's already been expanding their level of operations, but I think what we're going to see now is Israel is just going to go off the chain, and they're going to start going after Hezbollah like crazy. We're going to see lots and lots of massive aerial strikes, I believe, in Lebanon, and they're going to go after them heavily. Okay, they are not messing around anymore. So I've got one last thing that I want to show you here. This is on the Times of Israel as well. This came out today. Likud minister, Israel must stop procrastinating and deal a fatal blow. Fatal blow. Look at this, guys. Fatal blow to Hezbollah. Israel must stop procrastinating and deal a fatal blow to Hezbollah, demands culture and sport minister Miki Zohar of the ruling Likud party. Following today's rocket strike on a soccer field in the northern town of Majd al-Shams, bemoaning the deaths of kids who just wanted to play soccer and were instead brutally murdered by the cursed enemy, Zohar says that the more we postpone the campaign, the more painful prices we will pay. The red line was crossed a long time ago. It is time for action, okay? So action is coming, and as he says here, the more we postpone the campaign, okay, the more painful prices we will pay. So they know this thing is inevitable. They're going to have to launch this operation against Hezbollah. And guys, this is absolutely going to get insane because this is really not just Hezbollah that's involved here. There's going to be multiple other Iranian-backed groups, even potentially the Taliban from Afghanistan has talked about getting involved in this. This is going to be a massive, massive war in the Middle East. And even Iran themselves have come out and stated they will back Hezbollah if Hezbollah goes to war with Israel. So we are looking at so many countries that could get involved in this over here. Even the Houthis are going to get involved. We're looking at well over 1 million troops potentially combined all together with all these fighting forces that could break out into war over here. And this is absolutely insane. And you got to think about this too. Imagine the price of oil when a major war breaks out over here, okay? Especially, let's say Saudi Arabia gets involved, some of these big countries that produce oil as well, okay? This is definitely going to cause a major repercussions within the oil market as well, and we may see oil spike through the ceiling, and it could be insane. So, and think about all the economic problems that are happening all around the world. Okay, if oil continues to go up and it skyrockets over $100 a barrel or more, this is going to put more pressure on the economies around the world that are already suffering. There's lots of reports of recession in the United States coming, and all these different things. There's just so much chaos happening throughout the world, and we are definitely not in a time of peace, and that's why I put these videos out. This is exactly why I'm here on YouTube, to warn all of you that something big is coming at the end of the day. These might be small strikes here and there that we report, but ultimately it's leading to something major that is going to change the course of the world forever, okay? And it's going to affect a lot of people. And, you know, people living in the United States, for example, or in Europe might think, well, this won't affect me, but you don't know that for sure. You don't know if a major war is going to break out. What if this turns into a world war and Russia gets involved and China gets involved, and there's just wars breaking out everywhere, and the U.S. is involved in all these wars with China and with Russia and with Iran, and how is this going to work out for anybody? It doesn't even matter who wins at the end of the day. It's just going to be a devastating, fatal blow to the entire world, and it's just going to be absolutely insane. So that's why I want you guys to be aware of this. So again, just keep your head on a swivel, guys, and just be prepared for anything to happen. And I highly recommend, I don't know how many times I have said this on this channel, just highly recommend, number one thing you go and get is a water filter. Okay, go get a simple water filter from the store. Go buy like a Sawyer Mini or something like that, a Sawyer Squeeze. I always recommend the Sawyer Mini. It's like $20 in Walmart or maybe even at Amazon, and it can save your life one day, okay? If all the systems go down and they can't filter water no more, you're going to need a way of getting clean water, and you can go much longer without food than you can go without water. So just highly recommend you go out and grab one of those if you don't have one, and just be prepared for anything. Do whatever you can to prepare your families just in case something bad happens here, but we are going to see a massive response from Israel very soon. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.